The Fabelmans is directed by Steven Spielberg and stars Gabriel LaBelle, Michelle Williams, and Paul Dano. Young Sammy Fabelman aspires to become a filmmaker, but when he soon discovers a shattering family secret, he explores how the power of films can help him see the truth. Steven Spielberg is one of the greatest film directors of all time. I don't think anyone can dispute that. And if they do, I'm not going to say that they're wrong, but I am heavily going to imply it. He has inspired generations of filmmakers, me included, and even though I absolutely love most of his earlier stuff, like 2010 and earlier, I think most of his films are masterpieces. However, more recently, I can't help but feel like he's fallen off the wagon a bit. I don't think he's made anything bad necessarily, but a lot of his stuff nowadays is sort of disappointing, especially his newest West Side Story remake. In my opinion, which to be fair is a very unpopular opinion, I don't think that movie was really anything that great, especially when compared to the original masterpiece. So when I saw all of the trailers for this movie, I was like, yeah, it looks good, but I'm not going to give my hopes out for being one of the greatest movies of the year or anything like that. I'm sure it will be a big contender at the Oscars, but in terms of me, I wasn't really holding out any high hopes. I was 100% wrong. This is without a doubt one of the greatest Steven Spielberg movies of the past couple years, if not the greatest of the past couple years. I am legitimately awestruck by this movie to the point where I honestly don't know where to begin with everything that I love about it. I guess we can start with the acting for the most part, because the acting from literally every single person in this entire movie is Oscar-worthy. Paul Dano and Michelle Williams are already regarded as two fantastic actors in the industry. So they not only give their A-game material in this movie, they quite possibly give the best performances of their entire careers. And alongside that is Seth Rogen in the movie, who quite possibly gives his best performance of his entire career, right alongside his performance in Steve Jobs. But quite possibly the best performance of the entire movie goes to the movie's lead actor, Gabriel LaBelle as Sammy Fabelman. I honestly thought that going into this movie, I thought all the performances surrounding him would be fantastic and he would just be good, but like I said earlier, I was 100% wrong. He gives a performance that goes right alongside the giants that he is acting alongside of. He played Sammy with so much complexity in terms of his emotions that it truly felt like what I was watching, who I was watching, was a real person. And in many ways, he was. It is very well known that this movie is a sort of semi-autobiography of Steven Spielberg's life, especially with the names of the movie completely changed. And in terms of that, seeing how Sammy and Gabriel LaBelle's performance is supposed to be a young Steven Spielberg, the resemblance in terms of just personality and filming techniques and just overall passion for movie making is outstanding. Along with all of the Oscars that this movie is for sure going to be nominated for, out of all of them, I more so want Gabriel LaBelle, this first-time actor, to be nominated for Best Lead Actor more than most other categories that this movie will be nominated for. And in terms of the direction, I mean, it's Steven Spielberg we're talking about. Both the direction of the actors, the way the movie looks, it not only looks as dreamlike as most Steven Spielberg movies look, but it also gives off the impression that this truly is a memory, a really heartfelt memory that we're watching of Steven Spielberg's life. Both the story and the overall look of the film give off the impression of an origin story almost for Steven Spielberg, and how his love for all things movie just go beyond more the technical stuff. It is a true passion, a true emotion that cannot truly be described. And although a lot of the techniques are technical and can be described, just the heart of filmmaking is truly represented in this movie. And that's not to say that the family aspect of the movie is completely engulfed by the love of filmmaking that is represented in this movie as well. Both the acting, the writing, the complexity of the emotions, the heartbreak of the situation are all fully engulfed in the family dynamic of the film. You care so much for this family. You care so much about the jobs of the parents. You care so much about Sammy and his troubles in school. It is so good. And going back to the pure love of filmmaking that this movie has, and the constant themes about how it can't be technically described. It's just something that has to be felt through all of the heart and all of the motion of a filmmaker. It's something that I can't really describe how much it made me feel, and that's something that I truly give credit to Steven Spielberg for. Not only were his themes very simple and relatable, but that simplicity and that relatability just bled through the screen in a way that truly I cannot just simply describe in this review. It's just something that has to be seen to be believed. And for me, I not only saw it, but I truly did relate to it in a way that I don't think I will ever be able to describe. It's all in the experience, all in the passion, all in the heart that I absolutely adore about this movie, and I absolutely love it. And it's just something that I don't think a lot of filmmakers can replicate, and only Steven Spielberg can just emulate that whimsical relatability of his filmmaking. As for overall problems with the movie, I don't know. A couple nitpicks here and there, a couple moments that were a bit too goofy, but overall, those are my only issues. Just a couple overly goofy moments that I wasn't really a fan of, but so much of everything else is so grounded, and all of the more lighthearted stuff is just so pure that I can easily overlook any single minute nitpicks that I have with the film. This movie is incredible. The acting from the entire cast is Oscar-worthy, the direction is a dreamlike thing of beauty, and the story and themes are so emotional, passionate, and pure that to simply describe it would be an injustice. If there are any nitpicks that I have with this film, they are trivial at best. This reflected such a pure love of cinema that any single moviegoer will be able to relate to on some shape or form. I'm going to give the Fabelmans an A+. Well guys, thank you so much for watching, and let me know in the comments down below, what is your favorite Steven Spielberg movie? For me, it's probably Jaws. I know it's a very obvious answer, but it is a masterpiece nonetheless. But even though that is my answer, I do want to give a quick shout out to The Terminal. In my opinion, probably Steven Spielberg's most underrated film. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are the best. And don't forget to click subscribe and click the bell icon down below to stay updated on all things movie, all things TV, all things nerd.